Now, Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Well, as we look over in Klamath Falls, you can see out in the distance, there's a pretty thick layer of smoke. It's pretty hard to see the Cascades in this particular image, but right now it is 79 degrees in Medford, a light north wind at 6 miles an hour. Now, in terms of the air quality report, Rogue Valley and the Shasta Valley looking pretty good at this time, as well as the Oregon coast. But over towards Lakeview, we're into the unhealthy for sensitive groups, and over in Paisley and Klamath Falls, a bit worse in the unhealthy air. So that camera we were just looking at, not good overall for the air quality. Now, in terms of the current temperatures along the coast, generally between 60 and 65 degrees. As we head inland, temperatures generally 75 to 80, 81 in Grants Pass, 84 in Montague, 80 right now in Medford and Lakeview, 75 in Chemult. Now, compared to 24 hours ago, temperatures not all that different, but we're going to be looking at temperatures a little bit warmer because the areas that are a little bit different are just a little bit warmer. So for the fair today, again, it's going to be, well, nice, at least in terms of the sunshine, although temperatures are going to be hot. So that's the only real downfall for today. But temperatures getting well into the 90s this afternoon. That doesn't even really cool off all that much during the early evening hours, still looking at temperatures into the 80s. So for tonight, we still are going to see the low clouds and the fog along the Oregon coast. It'll be coming and going over throughout the nighttime hours. For tomorrow, we'll be looking at pretty much similar conditions as we're looking at for now along the coast, except a little bit more clearing will be possible. We're going to get to a southeasterly flow for tomorrow. There's a weak system moving into our region, so we're going to start getting the possibility of some showers and some thunderstorms east of the Cascades. The only problem is that they're going to be mostly on the dry side. Now we go for tonight, that activity ends up kind of shifting west of the Cascades. Although the Rogue Valley is not going to have a significant chance of seeing a thunderstorm, it is possible that we could see that late in the day tomorrow and during the overnight hours. And you can kind of see that activity here into the coast range, so it is going to be possible. Usually the best chances is usually into the elevated terrains anyway. So for the surface forecast, again, for the smoke, it's picking up today. We're going to be looking at those winds about 20 miles an hour, at least in terms of gust, maybe upwards of 25. And that'll continue to keep the smoke east of the Cascades. We get towards tomorrow morning, you can see it's pretty widespread, not much wind. And then the wind picks up, blows it some more into the same region. So not looking good overall in terms of the smoke for east side. High temperatures for today near 70 along the Oregon coast. Mid-90s east of the Cascades, pretty close to 100 degrees up and down I-5. Somebody's probably going to get to 100 degrees. I'm going with Wairika for today. 97 for Grants Pass and Mount Shasta City. Now the Perseid meteor shower is kind of showing up. It's been the last couple of mornings, but we're going to be looking at that a little bit better for tonight. Now for the Perseid meteor shower, the moon sets at 3:27 tonight. So basically, if you're up really late tonight, you might be able to see it unless you're along the Oregon coast, and you won't be able to really see it at all because of the clouds and the fog. For this evening, though, in terms of the fair, temperatures into the 80s, the wind will be dying down, but eventually we'll drop into the 60s west of the Cascades, except at the coast, into the 50s, east side also into the 50s as well. This is where we're looking at, for the Storm Prediction Center, the best chances of looking at dry thunderstorms for tomorrow. And you can see it's generally most of east of the Cascades and parts of the Rogue Valley. So again, have to keep that in mind for tomorrow. So here's your forecast for the Oregon coast. Temperatures staying into the 60s for today and tomorrow, eventually climbing back into the 70s, and we may get a little bit of the Chetco effect on Tuesday. Northern California, you can see a few thunderstorms for tomorrow, temperature of 105, and then temperatures staying generally around 100 degrees for most of next week. Klamath Pace at 94 for today, warmer for tomorrow, about 100, and then we could see thunderstorms possible on Saturday. Out towards Sunday, that'll be towards the eastern part of our viewing area, so Klamath Falls will probably end up being dry on that day. Cascades, your best chance will be tomorrow, and then it dries out once we get towards Sunday. Temperatures into the 80s, up at about 5,000 feet. And for the Rogue Valley, again, pretty hot for today, warmer even still for tomorrow. Again, there is that slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but then temperatures staying kind of around average or slightly above for most of next week.